Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome to another sacred episode of Your Soul Essentials. I am Sylvia, your host, and I am so grateful you're here with me today. In this transmission, we journey into the deeply transformative energy of the Gene Key 42, a frequency that invites us to move from the shadow of expectation through the gift of detachment and into the luminous Siddhi of celebration. Gene Key 42 will be active in the collective field from the 10th of April to the 16th of April, bringing with it opportunities to release the need to control outcomes and to embrace the sacred process of ending as initiation. This podcast will explore the shadow, the gift, and the Siddhi, from expectation to detachment to celebration, astrological reflections through the planets including Chiron and Black Moon Lilith, fixed stars that resonate with the Gene Keys 42's frequency of spiritual completion, the galactic lineages like the Arcturians, Andromedans, and Sirian soul codes, essential oils to support emotional surrender and inner peace, mantras and reflections to embody the grace of letting go, and final thoughts to help you live the truth that every ending holds the seed of joy. So take a breath, settle into your heart, and let's open to the deeper truth. The more we let go, the more life celebrates us. We have the frequency of shadow, and it's called expectation. The shadow of Gene Key 42 is expectation, a state where we unconsciously cling to how things should unfold. It stems from our fear of loss, our desire for control, and our attachment to outcomes. Expectation is a subtle contract we make with life that says, I'll be happy if things go the way I planned. But when life veers off course, which it always does, we feel disappointment, resistance, and even emotional paralysis. There is a reflection in this. Where in my life am I holding on too tightly to an outcome or timing? How might I be limiting life's magic by expecting it to look a certain way? There we have the frequency of the gift. It is called detachment. As we evolve, we shift into the gift of detachment, a state not of cold indifference, but of open-hearted neutrality. Detachment allows us to participate fully in life without needing to control it. We become more fluid, more present, and more alive. This is where we begin to trust the organic process of unfolding. Detachment teaches us that endings are not failures. They are invitations into a new cycle. As a reflection, you can ask yourself, what would it feel like to trust the rhythm of my life, even if it doesn't match my expectations? Where can I soften and allow life to move through me? And then we have the frequency of Siddhi, and it is called celebration. At its highest frequency, Gene Key 42 becomes pure celebration. Not celebration of something, but celebration as a state of being. It is the realization that all of life, including the endings, breakdowns, and farewells, is sacred. To embody this Siddhi is to become a vessel of joy, not because everything is perfect, but because you are no longer resisting what is. And you can reflect with yourself, can I allow joy to rise from within, even amidst uncertainty? Or how could it feel to celebrate the ending of a cycle as a birth into something new? Gene Key 42 is located in the final degrees of the sign Pisces, spanning approximately from 24 to 30 degrees, a deeply emotional and spirituality transcendent part of the zodiac. Pisces is the sign of completion, surrender, and spiritual unity, making this gene key a perfect embodiment of those themes. Here is how Gene Key 42 might express through the different planets in your chart. The Sun. You're here to embody the art of completion. Your life path teaches others how to honor endings and move through transitions with grace. And you can reflect with yourself, where am I being asked to let go in order to truly live? The Moon. Emotional fulfillment comes through acceptance and spiritual surrender. You feel deeply and you learn to hold life's transitions with compassion. There is a reflection for it. Can I soften into the mystery rather than resist it? Mercury. Your words can bring comfort during change. You're here to speak about cycles, closure, and soul evolution. And you can ask yourself, is my voice creating space for endings and new beginnings? Venus. You may attract relationships that mirror karmic closures or unfinished emotional business. Love asks you to detach with grace. And you can ask yourself, where am I holding on out of fear rather than love? Mars. You act with quiet strength when you surrender ego-based striving. This placement teaches patience, divine timing, and flow. And you can ask yourself, how can I shift from pushing to allowing? Jupiter. Your wisdom comes through cycles, and each ending expands you spiritually. You may be a teacher of soul completion. And you can ask yourself, what beliefs am I ready to release to make space for joy? Saturn. Life may present karmic lessons about timing, surrender, and trusting the process. You learn through the long arc of release. And you can ask yourself, where am I still resisting the lessons of divine closure? Uranus. You initiate unexpected changes in others. You are a liberator of outdated cycles. And you can ask yourself, where am I being called to break free and begin again? Neptune. You are highly intuitive and sensitive to collective endings. You hold space for others' transitions. And you can ask yourself, how can I channel endings into art, music, or spiritual guidance? Pluto. Profound transformation is your gift. You are a phoenix soul, one who guides others through death and rebirth. And you can ask yourself, what old story am I ready to release once and for all? The North Node? Your evolutionary path is to embrace endings as beginnings. You walk a life of trust and unfolding, and you can ask yourself, what part of my path am I being called to surrender into? Chiron. You may carry wounds around abandonment, unfinished business, or grief, but you are a healing guide through life's deepest transitions. And you may ask yourself, how has pain taught me the sacred art of letting go? And Black Moon Lilith, you may fear loss or feel rage around being left behind, but your power lies in sacred surrender. And you may ask yourself, what would it feel like to reclaim my wildness through release, not resistance? Gene Key 42, through astrology, shows us where we're learning to trust life's timing and how each part of our being navigates endings. With grace, we stop grasping and begin celebrating. The energy of Gene Key 42 aligns with stars and galactic frequencies that embody completion, soul maturity, and multidimensional grace. These celestial allies help us embrace the journey of release and transmutation. And of course, there are a few fixed stars that resonating with the energy of Gene Key 42. We have the fixed star Scheat on 29 degrees Pisces, and this star is located in the constellation of Pegasus. And Scheat is known in traditional astrology for its intense and often challenging influence, symbolizing deep emotional suffering, endings, and fall from grace. But within the Gene Keys framework, Scheat's higher frequency is about spiritual transcendence and the ability to rise after loss. Like Pegasus, the winged horse, it represents the flight of the soul beyond suffering. And you may ask yourself, what if the very thing I'm resisting is the key to my liberation? Another fixed star that is resonating with the Gene Key 42 is the fixed star Rescha. It is located on 29 degrees in Pisces in the constellation of Pisces. And this star is the mystical knot that connects the two fish of Pisces in that particular constellation. It carries the symbolism of binding and unity, merging duality and weaving threads of endings into new beginnings. It supports the integration of polarities, masculine and feminine, seen and unseen. And you may ask yourself, where am I ready to weave closure into wholeness? And there is another fixed star that is resonating with the Gene Key 42, and that is the fixed star Revati, a Vedic Pisces on 16 till 30 degrees, also in the Pisces constellation. This is the final nakshatra in the Vedic lunar mansion. Revati is ruled by Pushan, the protector of travelers and souls transitioning between worlds. Revati represents softness, divine protection, and the grace-filled ending of cycles. It is where karma dissolves and the soul prepares to reincarnate or return to source. And you may ask yourself, am I willing to be guided by a force beyond my ego during transition? These stars collectively support the message of Gene Key 42, that ending is not a collapse, it is a sacred recalibration toward a higher expression of life. Gene Key 42 resonates with galactic star families that embody wisdom around cycles, endings, multidimensional flow, and the sacred pause before rebirth. These lineages often guide souls through karmic release, energy clearing, and vibrational liberation. The Arcturians, and from the star Arcturus in the Boots constellation, Arcturians are master architects of light and energetic precision. They understand timelines, portals, and the vibrational structure of evolution. Arcturian aligned souls are often here to support emotional clarity, detachment with compassion, and graceful completion of karmic loops. And you may ask yourself, where can I lovingly disconnect from outdated timelines and contracts? The Andromedans. Hailing from the spiral galaxy Andromeda, these beings hold frequencies of freedom, cosmic neutrality, and personal sovereignty. They often incarnate to help dissolve linear attachments, rewrite soul contracts, and assist humanity in moving toward interdimensional flexibility. Andromedan aligned souls may feel uncomfortable in rigid structures or time-bound experiences, and are here to model fluidity, trust, and multidimensional closure. And you may ask yourself, can I trust the non-linear journey of my soul and release the need to know what comes next? The Sirians. From the star Sirius in the Canis Major constellation, the Sirians carry deep wisdom around spiritual responsibility, divine order, and ancestral completion. Their path often involves sacred service, guiding others through transition and upholding energetic integrity. Sirian-aligned souls may be drawn to rituals of completion, holding space at deathbeds, ending ancestral trauma, or walking others across energetic thresholds. And you may ask yourself, how am I being called to honor closure as a sacred act of service? These galactic frequencies remind us endings are encoded with light. When we surrender to the flow of the cosmic current, we are not dissolving, we are transforming. Essential oils are wonderful allies when navigating cycles of closure, surrender, and spiritual completion. They help us regulate our emotional field and create sacred space to honor endings with grace. Here are some oils that beautifully align with the Gene Key 42. Frankincense, known as the oil of truth and spiritual integration. Frankincense supports deep meditation, release attachments, and connection to your higher self. It is grounding and elevating at once. Use when processing emotional closures or during moments of soul reflection. There is also the oil of cypress. This is the oil of transitions. Cypress supports flow and a healthy grieving of what's ending. It encourages trust in what's to come. You can diffuse when you're in transition or feeling stuck in emotional cycles. And then we have the oil myrrh, a sacred oil for honoring endings and returning the soul essence. Myrrh is deeply feminine, earthy, and helps with ancestral closure. You can apply this oil to the heart space during ritual or journaling to release calming threads. And there is the oil of spikenard. traditionally used in rites of passage and energetic anointing. Spikenard calms the nervous system and creates a container of peace during deep change. A beautiful companion during grief, solitude, or sacred rest. And we have the oil Ylang Ylang. Softens the heart, allowing joy to return after letting go. It balances sorrow with sweetness. You can combine this oil with frankincense for a nurturing, heart-opening blend. How can you use these oils? Diffuse your chosen oil during a meditation or reflection. Add a few drops to a warm bath with Epsom salt to clear energy, or to anoint to your heart or solar plexus while repeating your favorite mantra. And as always, I have created some mantras for the sacred art of letting go. Mantras are sacred sound codes, anchors for the body and reminders for the soul. Here are some mantras to guide your journey through the Gene Key 42. I release what no longer serves me with peace and love. Or, every ending is a beginning in disguise. Or, I trust the wisdom of divine timing. Or, my soul celebrates the unfolding of every chapter. Or, letting go is my sacred act of faith. Repeat these mantras aloud in front of a mirror during breath work or when you feel caught in fear, control, or longing. Let their vibration bring you back to surrender. My dear beautiful soul, Gene Key 42 holds such a tender, powerful teaching that endings are not punishments. They are portals. They are release valves of grace. And they are the universe that is whispering, you are ready to grow. We are not meant to cling, force, or manipulate the flow of life. We are meant to dance with it, to feel when it is time to complete, to bless the closing chapter, and to trust that a new one is already being written. You are not behind, and you are not failing. You are evolving. Let yourself soften. Let yourself open. And let yourself celebrate even the tender, bittersweet transitions. And if this episode touches your heart, I'd be so grateful if you subscribe, leave a review, or share it with a kindred soul. We are walking each other home through endings and beginnings, and your presence here is a part of that sacred unfolding. Until next time, may you move with the grace of release and the joy of rebirth. Shanti Ishta, and thank you.